already warmed up with this once. I'm gonna go look.
Swinging in the rain. Swing on, swing on, swing on. So much love between us. I can write a book on how to work the wheel. Candy watermelon with the bumper grill. It's flooding outside and I'm the wettest still. Windows rolled up, cold cup, and some kill. Let me explain the way it feel to ride on 84s. A different level of respect amongst your peers and foes. Another victim of the streets if you ain't on your toes. My two chromes might clip, you better watch my toes. Rain coming down while I'm coming down. Heads turn around when them swingers turn around. Shout out to my OG slab riders. Big mix, sport, black body, all my partners. Swing around the puddle, drink muddy as a puddle. Softer than a poodle, leather perforated butter. This for all the hustlers out there getting it in the rain. Time to turn the music up and go swing. Swinging in the rain. Swing on, swinging in the rain.
I'm burning out now. So now I'm doing some volume stuff just with 115 until I can't anymore, which right now feels like 6 to 8 reps. And I already did 2 sets. I'm gonna do one more. Then I'm gonna do some incline rows and presses. Hello. Now I'm in the sauna. It's just me. But I was thinking about how lately I've been seeing a lot of progression in my lifts and in my body, and I was starting to reflect on what I was doing differently. This is crazy because I see this in my clients all the time, is that they get really comfortable and they feel really good about having a routine. But then now that the struggle of starting the routine is over, which, mind you guys, I have probably not missed a lift in the last 10 years, or missed more than a week of lifting for the past 10 years, especially something that was within my control. But the most common thing I see is that when we get comfortable in our routine, get comfortable in a lot of other aspects within our exercise. And I had to stop keeping track of when I was pushing my weights, and I was kind of getting stagnant in my program. I hadn't switched it up in a while. And I just literally wasn't using new methods or trying new things, because if I get stuck in my bench press, which I had a plate today and I haven't in a long time, I started doing things like pauses, tempo, and then my weight started shooting up again, and I did the same thing with fixing my butt link and my squat. And when was the last time you learned a really good lesson from something that was really easy? Sometimes there's little eureka moments that we find in moments of peace or flow. But for the most part, we learn a lot more when things aren't going our way or when things are not very pretty to deal with. When people go into a lot of debt, hopefully they don't make that same mistake again. Maybe they didn't know better. But once you know better, it's kind of your fault. And sometimes, again, life is so crazy and we just get so wrapped up in doing our day to day and just trying to show up. But then you have to start asking yourself if you get frustrated, for example, with your progress. Have I been pushing myself? Am I being honest with myself right now? And when was the last time that I tried a new exercise or tried to go heavier or set a performance goal? Because I think it's easy just to go through the motions and expect a lot of change, because they say consistency is key. Yes, but if you want to see substantial change in your body or in your frame, you have to do progressive overload too. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be adding a couple reps each week until you up the weight. I always up the weight when I can get 15 clean reps. That means it's pretty easy for me, so I'd up the weight if I was using 35, say, to 40, and then do what I can with that weight. Maybe it's 12, maybe it's 8, whatever it is, and then doing my sets with that, using that again until I can get to 15 reps with that weight. Then again, going up in weight. And that can depend on the lift. A 2.5 to 5 pound jump in upper body, and then you can get away with like 5 to 10 pounds in the lower body. But yeah, just sure you're pushing yourself, because I'm really excited about the change I'm seeing. And yeah.
So being extra needy because I just got back from Colorado because I wanted to go to Trader Joe's. They have the best body lotion there, and it smells super good. It's like perfect summer. And then I also stopped at a home. I had to grab a couple like that their olive oil is a lot cheaper, so I go there, and some sugar-free flavor for my coffee. So I haven't had coffee in a while. I switched to non-stim pre-workout so I can enjoy coffee more. But I want to talk about what complacency looks like, because I feel like every so often, even if I have been really good in my routine and I feel like I'm doing things well and often, I have these moments of reality where I realize that I am a little bit complacent, just like comfortable with what I'm doing. And even if what I'm doing maybe is an extremely good habit to have, like exercise, eating right, this is for if you have other goals with your body besides just the consistency aspect of the routine. This year, my goal is to get as lean as I can, now that I have really healed my relationship with food and also been really consistent. I have been consistently lifting for probably the past decade with very few breaks in there. The longest break I probably would have taken from that would be a week. And that's just because I have been very blessed with a pretty consistent routine and schedule. Even if I was working different jobs, it's pretty easy for me to kind of find that routine because exercise has been in my life for a long time. And throughout that journey that I've had, these pockets of just like maintaining, surviving, which is okay sometimes. But for me, when I have other goals, I let myself sit in that a little bit too long sometimes. We all have seasons where we need to like back off, but I have not been in a season for the past, maybe when I was moving, but since I've been here, I've not been in a season where I need to back off. And so I've been really intentional about my goals and really trying to challenge myself and figure out where I've been complacent, like I was not pushing myself hard enough. I watched this video of this other girl training and I was like, oh yeah, I'd definitely be going a little bit harder, because I love to train hard, but I've just been kind of the motions lately. I get really caught in my headspace and I feel like I just need to bring myself back to reality here and there. Making sure I'm going through full range of motion, being really intentional about where my body position is while I'm lifting, making sure I'm engaging my core, like really sure I'm doing every single step, because when you've been lifting for so long, sometimes it just becomes like, a squat isn't something where every single time you have to brace yourself for you to get through the lift. Yeah, that's in the long run, that's how we get injuries when we're overcompensating in other areas. So I'm not saying do this, but a lot of people who are advanced, myself including, it's really easy to just like be going through the lift and not being super intentional. Things that I sometimes just go through the motions and get the lift done and don't think about all the intricate parts of the lift, and then wonder why my shoulder fucking hurts because I'm not doing the stuff. And so that's what I've come to recently, of just like needing to slow down, needing to remember my goals, and instead of getting frustrated with things, objectively looking at what am I complacent in right now? Where can I kind of maybe put a little bit more energy? I don't even think complacency can necessarily feel like this, it feels good enough, but you have to be able to step out of yourself and just ask yourself if this is what your goals align with. If that's not you, if you're in a really busy season of life and you're just trying to maintain, then I would say maybe focus on just maintaining and then don't worry about complacency right now. Usually there is something that we're missing, whether it be like tracking our food or we're overestimating things or underestimating things. Those can all be things And so that could even come to the conversation of like, am I being complacent with my nutrition? Or am I feeling like this is good enough, but have I really looked at it? And that's something to also ask yourself. And that doesn't just apply to nutrition, but whatever step of the process, whatever variable you feel like might be the culprit or could push a little bit of change in the direction that you want to see, then those are the questions you need to be asking. But there's obviously a fine line between pushing and burning out, and I feel like a lot of people struggle to see where that is because they think if they just like grind, they're going to get the results faster, and sometimes that's not always true. So pushing like effort that might feel like a stretch but you can recover well from, like you maybe having to slow down your repetitions or whatever the case may be. Like maybe you track the day before so that it doesn't feel like it feels like something new to your routine, but really putting some fucking words into an app is not that big of a deal. Maybe weighing the food could be a little bit annoying, but if you put the portions in the night before and then just measure out those portions when you're eating, it's a lot easier rather than like having to add and subtract. So I track the day before for the next day so that I know what to reach for, and then it's easier for me to swap things out than it is to like make from scratch. And I obviously look at what I have available to me when I do that. Something that you should do in order for you to track your food more closely. Like there's lots of things that we can be complacent in. Super good. Zuko is not enjoying that these dogs are barking right now. But I have some questions that you can ask yourself to know if you are being complacent or not. So, what have I stopped questioning in any routines? Like, am I avoiding discomfort or protecting my peace? Because there's a difference. And who am I becoming through my current habits? And another good one is, what would people think my priorities were if they were to watch a day in my life? And then that's where you can find some adjustments. So now it was just that's what it needed to be, and it's kind of like an exercise. When you realize an exercise has gotten a lot easier and you need to go up in weight, it's the same thing with this. Like, it's to beat yourself up for if you realize you've been complacent. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm ready now, and I'm going to challenge myself to go a little bit more, a couple more reps, going up 5 pounds in the weight, trying something new. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, and it can apply to almost anything. But what would people think you prioritize if they were to live a day in your life or watch you live a day in your life? It's a good question. So, other than that, I'm wrapping up my Sunday. I'm gonna light this cute little candle. Hi, Bunny. He's super nosy. Yes, you, Prince Zuko. Here, come sit. Nope. Sit down, Zuko. Thank you. Come here. Yeah, here. Okay. Happy Sunday. See ya.